In this tutorial, I will teach you the art of logic. Hello everybody, this is King Tut here and welcome to the video. If you find this video for the first time and you're on YouTube or BitChute, be sure to like and subscribe. If you're on Vlare, be sure to like and follow. If you're on Library, be sure to follow and download. Thank you. In the last few tutorials, we learned about Boolean variables and conditional statements. And usually we worked with only using one conditional statement in a parentheses of an if statement. But what if we want two or more if conditional statements inside of if parentheses? Well, we could actually make a nested if statement, which is an if statement within an if statement. So let's just make x equals to 3, and let's declare y and assign it as 4. And let's do an if statement if x is equals to 3, and then we could put another if statement inside an if statement. Y is greater than 1. And then we could just output C out. We just output some text. So we could just have x is equal to 3 and y is greater than 1. And then I'm going to end this line here. And if we run it, since x is actually equal to 3, it will run what's inside that if statement. And it's going to check to see if y is greater than 1. And since it is y is 4 and it's greater than 1, it's going to run what's inside that if statement. So let's run this program. And it printed as we expected. This is called an AND. So if this and this is true, this runs. So that's an AND logic. What if we want one of these statements to be true? Or what if we want to put in a OR logic? So let's just take this out and let's put it under here and straighten everything, and then put else before the else if. Then copy this and paste here. So if one of them is true, which both of them are actually true, but if one of them is true, it outputs this text, the same text. So let's run our program. Yep, and it printed out as expected. So there's a shorter way. What if we want to put these two in here into one parentheses of an if statement? Well, let's start with the AND logic. So let's take this out and let's put in y is greater than 1. And to put in the AND logic, you separate these two conditional statements with two ampersands with it, which is shift 7. 2 ampersands. And once we run this, since these two are true, it's going to output this text. And it did. Let's play around with the values of x just to show you that the AND logic works. So we made x equal to 1. Since x is not equal to 3, this is not true. And for an AND logic to work, both conditional statements have to be true. And since this is false, the computer skips right over it. So let's run this. And as we see here, it outputs nothing. So what if we want to put in the OR logic? Well, instead of an ampersand, we put up parallel lines. And what I mean by that, if you press shift and backslash. If you press shift and backslash, you get this. And you put two of these vertical lines. And what that does is implement an OR logic, which if one of them is true, then it runs what's inside the if statements. So let's run this program. And it does what we expected, because even though x is false, y is true. This conditional statement is true. Okay, so what if we want to, let's say, negate whatever values, or let's say, have a value equal to anything but 3. We use what is called the not logic, the not logical operator. So in order to do it, instead of putting equal equal, we could put an exclamation point here. Exclamation equal, which is if x not equal to 3. So it's telling us if x is not equal to 3, we run this statement. X is actually not equal to 3 because it's equal to 1. So this statement is true. We could do something with Boolean. Instead of putting is here equals false, we could just put an exclamation point before the variable, which is a shorter way of telling the computer that is here is false. So let's just take out this text and then put in not here. And then let's run this program. And it did what we expected. If you want to also make this Boolean statement true, you just take out the exclamation point, and the computer just assumes that the if statement, if is here, is true. It's gonna assume that this is true. Thank you so much. Hope this helps. Thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.